Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of the GamePodular Unfocused podcast. I am your host Scott, and joining me today is the wonderful Seskra. How are you today, Seskra?
Megatron has fallen. Now I, Starscream, will rule the podcast.
I needed that. That was a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I'm very good. Thank you.
That's good. That's good. That is good to hear. That is good to hear.
If you couldn't tell from that, Hyuka will not be joining us on this episode. But we can hold down the fort in the meantime.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah, get up to anything much during this last month?
Bits and bobs, things and whatnot. May or may not have spent like an entire month hanging out with my long distance relationship in an extremely short distance relationship, which was very, 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 very good. We went to aquariums.
Yes.
It was great. But also
nice.
But also, games and such, I suppose.
Yes, that is the name of the game.
Literally.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. No, I've just been trying to control the heat. The place where I'm at now, I've got an air conditioner, but it's currently broken at the moment.
Oof.
So yeah, I've just got I hope it doesn't come through, but I've just got the fan on just a little bit, just coming through.
Call that a French egg, because that's a big oof.
Yes, very much. Look, it's we've just been having really weird storms, like 10 minutes just flash storm, like a little bits of hail, and all of a sudden it'll just start shining. Sun was just shining. It's like, what was that all about?
Yeah, like make up your mind.
Either rain or don't. Come on.
God, can we get some commitment around here?
All right, I'll remind everyone that we do have a Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/GamePodular. Throw us a boo through dollar dues if you can. If not, make sure to take care of yourself. We also do have a Ko-fi, kofi.com/GamePodular if you'd like to throw us a couple of dollar dues for a little coffee. We also do have a couple of the other streams. Twitch.com/GamePodular. We try and regularly have Twitch streams. Currently, Hilka is currently going through now Louis' Mansion. I've been accompanying them. It's been very spooky and pretty good. And we also do have YouTube. That the YouTube is at GamePodular, where we post our podcasts. As well as we also got at GamePodular stream highlights, where we do the Twitch highlights. And of course, you can go to GamePodular.com just so you can get all our show notes and listen to wonderful episodes. And it's also got the link with our Discord. So, yeah.
For less than the cost of a fridge magnet per month, you can help us keep the lights on.
Yes, exactly. All right, let's get into what we've been playing this month.
Let's.
Okay, so I made a couple of purchases throughout the coming months. My currently gaming setup is I'm only primarily playing on the Switch. I've also got ROG Ally that I've got Linux installed on. And I've also got a PlayStation 5 Professional, but I don't really play the professional PlayStation all that much.
You're more into amateur PS5.
Apparently, they were really down in price at the moment just because of the whole Black Friday deals. I saw one because they're normally about like I think they're $750 normally, which is that's for the digital version. Which originally that was the original version with a national disk drive.
But
I did see some was like $478. That's still a digital version. And I mean, I was at like a department store and I saw so many people going up, getting like the PlayStation 5 digital, but also having a couple of like physical games and thinking, you poor souls, you need a disc drive.
Oh, those poor. Some kid is going to be like so briefly excited and then so disappointed on Christmas morning.
I do hope, I would imagine the people who ring up the payment, they would advise them, listen, you do need a disc drive to actually put those through. But that's just, that's a sad situation.
I was just going to say, scientists theorize that eventually Black Friday will expand to become an entire month in its own right, because by this point, it's almost 2 weeks long around here. Like, Black Friday is the thing that lasts like 10 days now.
And then, tomorrow is going to be Cyber Monday.
Cyber Monday.
So, cyber. Get that bugging into you. But no, I actually did make a PlayStation purchase. I purchased a PlayStation Portal. This is one of those doohickeys that actually is pretty much just an 8-inch screen with a couple of with a PS5 controller split in half and attached to the sides. It is funny. So this is effectively a streaming device. You don't actually, it doesn't itself run any native software apart from like the basic software to connect to the system.
Yeah, it's got a little OS and that's it.
Pretty much, yeah. It did need an update before I can actually use it. That's always fun. But no, this is just a fairly thin, I'm holding right now, fairly thin device. Like the actual grips itself feel good, like a PlayStation 5 controller. It's got tiny, smaller thumbsticks. Not too tiny. Like nothing like say like a Switch thumbstick. Like it's got a full range of motion. And it's got the proper triggers with its haptic pushback. The 8-inch screen is quite nice. It is only LCD, but it does get fairly bright.
Don't worry, we'll talk about screens a little later. I have notes.
The only other thing, it's just powered by a USB-C. It's got a headphone port in the back. It's odd, actually. Like normally a headphone port would be like, say, on the top or very rarely the bottom. This is it's actually got a hump on the back, and that's actually where the USB port and the headphone port goes in. So it actually goes at the back, like in the middle at the back, which is fairly odd to hide it.
That is unusual, yeah.
But no, it works. Oh yes.
I was just going to ask, for the millennials in the audience, would you say that it reminds you of the Game Boy Color battery pack, which was like a brick sticking out the back of that console?
Not that thick, I'm afraid. But I will say the actual screen and stuff is fairly thin. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, the Game Boy Color, and you had to have the big battery pack, but you also had the twisty light that gets charged by the Game Boy Link port. He also had the magnifying glass that you put in front of it. Oh, those were the days. Yeah,
the Game Boy Color definitely fits in your pocket unless you have that frigging battery pack. Oh,
yeah,
good times.
Yeah. But yes, good times. But speaking of good times, yeah, this works fairly well. It is, as I said, it is only streaming. It is probably best just to use it, making sure that you have the best sort of connection. At least have your PlayStation 5 hooked up to a router by Ethernet. I did actually. It was funny actually when I actually rang this up that people actually did mention at the store, actually saying, just to want to make you want to let you know that in Australia, it doesn't get any you don't stream it from the cloud. It only streams from your PlayStation, because everywhere else you can actually stream it from like their PlayStation service.
Right.
So like the Xbox Game Pass Cloud.
Mm-hmm. Or Google Stadia, if you will.
Yes, yeah, that's probably the best equivalent. Which we never got here, and apparently we don't have PlayStation Cloud streaming here. So there is some lag. I gotta once I do move to another place, I'll end up looking at my wireless connection situation, see how I can improve that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's weird with the game that I've been playing. Like you'll get some games that are very Twitch heavy, Twitch reflexes, and that you'll notice the lag there. But for other games, particularly newer games, you sort of flow into it,
right?
And it works quite well. It works quite well. You wouldn't do something like a Twitch street shooter, but yeah, for like an action game, so like Uncharted or Last of Us,
right,
or something, it works fairly well. I did end up also getting what's called the PlayStation Pulse Elite headset, just because, because I do like wireless, but this doesn't actually. The portal doesn't actually accept Bluetooth connection. Like you can't set a Bluetooth headset because I don't want to, discourage people because Bluetooth has latency.
Mm-hmm.
So what this does, the Pulse Elite headset uses it's got its own like USB dongle that you put in the PlayStation. They call it a PlayStation Link codec. But what that actually is that the actual PlayStation Portal itself actually has that codec built in, so you don't actually need a dongle for the headset for the portal. You can just connect the headset wirelessly directly to that, which is pretty neat.
That is genuinely rather nice and seamless. Yeah.
I mean, sort of like completely pointless. If you're playing like close to the PlayStation, you can just have the dongle there. But it just allows it to just connect directly to the device. But what I've been actually playing with that on and off is finally Marvel's Spider-Man 2. I didn't realize this was actually released back in 2023.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Yes. I will say the first time I actually did play this game, it was a couple of years ago, and it was actually my brother actually bought it, and he told me to he actually got me because he lives out west, like 5 hours from where I live. And so what he did, he ended up he was going to visit us in some time, so I ended up buying it from the store from him, and then I would give it to him. And so what I ended up doing, actually cracked it open and played a bit of it. Played a bit before he actually got into it. He picked it up, and then I didn't actually play it until recently. So people also playing with some other games. So no, I finally said, you know what, I'm gonna go down and play it. It was actually I was actually playing the for some reason I was playing like Miles Morales, just actually at the portal, and going through and thinking, I'm playing this game. I'm thinking, I don't know how to Spider-Man. Like I'm going into these fights, and I don't know how. I kept losing. It ended up being what it was.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at your pain. I'm laughing at the fact that Spider-Man is a verb now.
Oh, it's like, but it is. It's just like, how do I Spider-Man? I'm sure I was pretty good at Spider-Man back in the day. Spider-Manning. It's like, where have my skill gone? It just ended up being that I didn't know how to. I forgot how to dodge.
Right.
But no, I am very much enjoying Spider-Man 2. Very much obviously a sequel to the original Spider-Man. Because I played those. I played that and Miles Morales on the PlayStation 5. The original PlayStation 5, not the Pro. And they were real good. Like Miles Morales was one of my favorite games. That was one of the games I sat down like a full weekend and went and played to 100%.
Oh, hell
It was that good. It was that good. And so I thought, I got to get this. And I've sort of playing a bit of Spider-Man 2 and just really getting into it again. It's just the flow of it. Just zipping around, getting into fights. What I'm ending up doing, I'm actually because you got the story, obviously you got the story mode, but I just see things on the map. I'm just like, I'm just going to do all these map things. So it's like going like Spider-Man, like friendly Spider-Man quests, or you'll zip around and you'll all of a sudden there'll be like criminals around, and so you go around and beat them up. It's just really good. It's one of those games you just pick at and just go, oh, I want to get a certain completion. It also helps as a heck of a load of costumes that you can get for both. Because with this game, you actually play as both Peter Parker and Miles Morales. And so you get a whole lot of costumes with it. I quite like the ones I got. I got like a cyber one for Miles Morales, all purple and chic with a jacket. It's absolutely like a heads up like a heads up display for the mask. Really cool. But no, you play as both of them, and it's funny when you get in certain fights. If you just end the bet, you will. If I play as Peter Parker, sometimes Miles Morales will be there and will end up fighting with me, which is really cool. They do expand a bit on because I believe actually it was episode 20. Hilka was actually discussing their playthrough of Miles Morales. Funnily enough, on GamePodular Unfocused 20, yeah.
Continuity.
Yes, yes. Miles Morales, they ended up they used like certain like electricity powers. I guess that's the thing with Miles Morales is he actually got of course the web swinging and the there was electrical powers, so electrical shock and that. They also expanded with that with Peter Parker. He's now got like a sort of like I think I would say like not claws but like stabbing things. Like stabbing arm things, sort of like Doc Ock, in a sense. Yeah. Like they expand on those. You can upgrade your abilities with those. It's just I'm actually, I haven't gotten too much in the story, but I'm already like level 30.
Out of how many?
From what I can see, like the maximum, for the costume, the maximum I would have to be would be like level 50. So I don't think I'm too far off. Although it could be one of those situations where you can keep expanding your level. So who knows?
If they keep making these, I really want them to get into like the weeds with the Spider-Man lore, because I'm pretty sure there was this one time where Peter Parker, he lost his powers for a bit, but he still wanted to do crime fighting in New York, protect the people.
Mm-hmm.
So he made a new secret identity for himself with just some like hyper super tech he borrowed from Tony Stark. But he sort of realized, wait, if Spider-Man stops appearing and this new guy shows up right away, everyone's just going to figure out right away that that's Spider-Man. So he made 4 new alternate personas at the same time and sort of rotated them on different days to try and throw people off.
That's cool. Yeah.
It was very silly, but honestly, it was a good excuse to try out a bunch of different costumes and such.
I'm not too much in the Spider-Man. I have heard of the whole clone saga.
Oh, that's it. Gentle viewers, if we ever do an intentionally drunk episode of this podcast, that is a great topic to while away an hour with.
Yeah. But no, it's it's really good. The story wise, it's 10 months after the events of Spider-Man Miles Morales. Peter Parker is just trying to get they actually first meet up as Peter Parker's a substitute teacher for Miles Morales, but then they ended up Sandman gets out and they both have to go fight Sandman. But yeah, it's expand for that. No, I am really enjoying my time with it. I'm going to continue on with it and I'll try and get up to 100% if it's anything like Miles Morales. But yeah, I've been playing that. That's been really good. But I think you've been playing something a bit more interesting and older. You've been playing some Super Smash Brothers Melee. How's that gone for you?
It has been an absolute blast from the past and then some. Because, yeah, like I mentioned, I had some company over this last month and we were just like, what do we want to play together? And on a whim, she said, well, if you have like an emulator or something, we could try some Melee. Like, that'd be nice and nostalgic. And I was just like, babe, I have a GameCube. I could just hook it up. And yeah, it was great. It was great going back. I do have like it was sobering in some ways to see like which parts of these games have triumphantly endured and become staples of the franchise, and which ones we forgot about because they just never returned after this installment.
Oh yeah.
But the number one thing that struck me was just, how did we ever play this in standard definition? Like, I have a nice TV, but this is a GameCube game, and even though I'm actually slightly upscaling the output signal, it's genuinely hard to make out like the fine detail I really need. And granted, my eyesight is not what it used to be. I'm wearing glasses now, and I didn't need those back when I played this game originally. But I am actually wearing the glasses, so it's fine. And I still am just like, oh, is that? Oh, that actually killed me. Okay, gotcha. Yes, that was in fact an R-Wing coming in. Slippy Toad has in fact now been my nemesis. Like, how did we ever play this on a, like, 12-inch CRT TV, you know?
Yeah. Just that resolution with how CRTs work. That's I remember going to an EB Games many years ago when the GameCube first came out, and they had the CRT on the very top of the roof, and looking at Super Smash Bros. Melee and thinking, wow, game graphics are just not going to get better. Like, I was a silly child back then, but it was that quite amazing.
Shout out to that old issue of PC Gamer where they have a preview screenshot of Unreal, and they had to add the disclaimer, yes, this is an actual PC screenshot. But yeah, it's been a delight going back. It's become very clear to me now that I'm a lot better at Melee now than I was when I first played this game. Like, this is me outing myself. I never knew that you could encounter Crazy Hand in the classic mode. Like, I always thought you have your classic mode, you just fight a couple people, you have a couple mini game stages along the way, and at the end you fight Master Hand. Turns out, if you get to Master Hand quickly enough on medium difficulty or higher, and you get his health down quickly enough, Crazy Hand joins the fight mid-fight as like a double secret bonus. And I never knew that as a kid. The first time that me and my fiance did this, we thought, like, we didn't know what was happening. We thought it was like a glitch or something.
Yeah. And
then after we died, because we weren't expecting to fight two bosses at the same time, we Googled it, and no, it turns out that's just in there. This sort of leads into like one of the bits that we left behind in later installments. Like, there's a couple of the minigame stages that we have retained. Most famously probably break the targets. People tend to like break the targets quite a bit. It's a nice little way of like featuring the character's skill set. I remember as a child being stuck for the longest time with the one for Young Link. There's no need to be mad, I say, Young Link. Because his requires that you figure out he can actually do wall jumping, which most characters in the game can't, but Young Link can. And until I actually figured it out as a kid, I could never beat it. But yeah, break the targets is still there. But you know what isn't there anymore? Race to the finish.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. It was just this like little mini game in between the actual fights of get to the end, and the farther you get, the more coins you get, and the coins are useful for the trophy lottery. And it was, I would describe it as aggressively fine as a mini game. It was clear them like throwing things at the wall, seeing what stuck, and that one just about stuck. But it did not stick around after this. And I'm just going to tell you right now, if you're good on coins and you want to actually see Crazy Hand, just forego forego the entire race to the finish minigame. Like, don't try to get as far as you can. Just run to the first door and go. That'll save you a lot of the time you need. But no, the actual gameplay, it's great. Like, there's a reason we still play Melee to this day competitively. It's sleek, it's tight. A lot of the stages, not all, but a lot of them are like very well balanced and a lot of fun. I do have my favorites and my not so favorites. Like, Poke Floats is fun, but I wouldn't call it a great stage, to be honest.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of my favorite discoveries going back was seeing how much of this game was advertising for other games that hadn't come out yet. Because the character of Roy, now one of the like 17 Fire Emblem characters that are in Smash, he was introduced here. By which I don't mean this was his first Smash game. I mean, this was the first game to feature him because his own Fire Emblem game came out after this.
Wow.
Yeah, this was them really pushing hard, like, you know, watch out for Roy. Roy is coming. Which is hilarious because not only had his own game not come out yet, no Fire Emblem game had come out outside of Japan before this game was released.
Yeah.
I'm not alone when I say that I learned that Fire Emblem existed because of Smash. I was just like, oh, it's a thing that they have over in Japan, I guess. Because the trophy. Go ahead.
Oh, so I was just going to say, like, so like Earthbound. I mean, for a lot of people, NES on the original, original 64 Smash Brothers, and this was their first introduction to the Mother series.
Exactly. In fact, if you go to the trophy menu, a lot of them will list either like not released in Europe or only released in Japan. And so when you get to Roy, they're like, he is listed as future release because hadn't come out yet. The other big franchise that got the rub that way was Animal Crossing. There's a lot of Animal Crossing in Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Oh, okay.
Not a single Animal Crossing game had actually come out yet, so this was the world's introduction to Tom Nook.
Ah.
If only we had killed him here.
Because I imagine like, would Animal Forest for the N64, would that have come out before or after this?
I don't know, to be honest. Yeah. But, yeah, I kind of wish Smash still did this, and for all I know, they have, and I'm just, an uncultured swine, but, like, imagine if our first glimpse of Splatoon had been as a playable character in Brawl or something.
Oh, yeah. That would have been cool.
Yeah. That would have been a little early, I think, because, correct me if I'm wrong, Splatoon debuted on the Wii U?
Yes.
Which meant that we would have had to see it on, in Super Smash Bros. Melee for Wii U and 3DS, the most overlooked entry in the series. Which is a shame, because by all accounts, Masahiro Sakurai did work really hard on that one. I have actually gotten to play
yes.
Like, mini tangent. I have actually gotten to play for Wii U and 3DS using the 3DS as a controller for the Wii U.
Ah, nice. Yep.
It worked shockingly well, actually. I had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, here in Melee, my go-tos are actually... The reason I bring up the Roy thing is he is actually one of my go-tos. My go-tos tend to be Roy and Young Link. Later on, once we get into later installments, I switched to Toon Link, but yeah, he was not a thing here yet, despite... No, I'm not sure if Wind Waker was out yet either. We might not have known about Toon Link yet.
No, that's right, because people got annoyed at and when the original revealed at Toon Link for Wind Waker, because there was cartoon compared to what was shown as like a preview of what the hardware could do. I think Melee sort of amplified that.
Let's see. Oh yeah, Wind Waker came out over a year after Melee. In fact, if you lived outside of Japan, it was like more like a year and a half almost.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a classic. We all love it. There are little tiny quality of life things that like your mind has rightfully forgotten. They don't actually matter, but it was funny seeing like going back and seeing like the little wrinkles we've smoothed out. Like when you're on the character select screen, there's no back button. Like you can't just hit B and go back. You have to drop your little medallion onto a character, any character, and then move the cursor up to the little back button in the corner of the screen and select that.
Oh.
Yeah, it and like, is that a big thing? It's not, but it's fun seeing these little like vestigial appendices.
Yeah.
As they slowly work out the kinks. And also like nowadays we have, Echo Fighters, which are pretty explicitly just the same character again, but, well, mechanically speaking, the same character, but they are meant to be a different character.
Yeah.
And we do have some of that here as well. Like Ganondorf is mostly just a slower Captain Falcon. Roy is mostly a slower Marth. Although they do mechanically work very differently with their swords. I don't know how many people remember this nowadays, but Marth's sword deals the most damage with the very tip of the blade, whereas Roy's deals the most damage with the base of his blade. So Roy really rewards you like getting right up in people's faces.
Yeah.
You can tell why he was my favorite as a kid, because I was not good at keeping my distance. So I was just like, get in there. I do need to pour one out here for a much beloved comrade. Like, I've mentioned the vestigial things that we can cut, and did cut. And for the most part, it's been little things that are like, we don't, who still needs Race to the Finish? But I gotta pour one out for an actual homie, that I really, really liked. It was my favorite way to play the game as a kid, and I still really like it now. Style points mode. It's just normal competitive Melee, but instead of rating purely on like how many KOs you get, it rates you on just how many cool things you do. It rates you on like, because Melee gives you, and Smash in general gives you like little rewards for, well, not rewards. At the end of the game, you can look at your stats and they'll tell you like, oh, this, you got a star KO and you got the cement shoes award because you barely moved, or you got aerialist because you actually jumped around a lot. And style points mode is explicitly who gets the most points doing things like that.
Yep.
So it doesn't reward you for playing in the most competitively viable way. It rewards you for playing in the way that is most entertaining. And I really like that. Bring it back. There's other game modes that we have, like we don't need to bring back. There's, remember the coin mode where you just beat people up and they drop coins and whoever gathers the most coins wins? That was silly. We don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah.
But like style points mode, I love it. I love it so much.
I mean, yeah, you got to be the most flashy fighter.
Exactly.
Literally, from Captain Falcon, show me your moves.
Exactly. Like, literally, it made taunting mechanically viable because you would get points for it. So, yeah. I don't know when/if they'll do another one of these, because I think Masahiro Sakurai has made it kind of clear that he will not be returning, and I do not envy anyone who has to try and fill those shoes. But, we have not gone a console since then that didn't have a Smash title, so I doubt we'll make it to the end of the Switch 2 without another Smash. But it was fun going back here to not quite the roots of the franchise. I'm well aware that, there was the original on the N64, which I've never played. But just, I don't think I actually fired this game up in something close to 20 years. In fact, when I dug out my GameCube, the first thing that happened when I turned it on was it asking me to check my system settings, because the battery for the internal clock had run out, and it thought that it was the year 2047.
Ah. Oh, no.
Which is very funny, because, it just does that now every time I turn it on. So whenever anything happens, this is an old enough game that you sort of get, congratulations prompts for everything, regardless of how many times you do it. So when you beat classic mode, it will say, you got the Roy trophy. And
yep.
I know I have notifications of, you got the Roy trophy from the year 2047, because I just cannot be bothered adjusting my internal settings anymore.
Yeah. Probably not a good system to play Animal Crossing on, I imagine.
Ooh, oh, right, because Animal Crossing had things related to the internal clock. I remember reading about that in, the cheats page of Endgamer magazine. You want to know who are the smartest characters in all of Nintendo?
Who's that?
The Ice Climbers, because they made one game and they just keep getting new Smash Brothers gigs 30 years later. Laziest characters in the entire company, I swear to God. Even Kid Icarus eventually got off his ass and made a new one,
Yeah. I mean, they weren't even in the Wii U 3DS one. Ice Climbers.
Wait, they actually skipped a Smash? Wow.
Yeah. I think it was because 3DS couldn't, for some reason, 3DS couldn't handle the two characters at the same time.
But it had two screens.
It had two. Well, it technically had, two screens, and also the top screen was a 3D screen, so it's displaying two images at the same time. So, I don't know. They just probably couldn't figure it out.
Is that the only time that an established character didn't get... No, I'm reading up on it now. This is the only game that ever had to omit characters. The Ice Climbers were due to technical limitations. Apparently also absent from that were Wolf and Snake. I'm not sure why they were missing. Although, speaking of Snake, I know for a fact Hideo Kojima asked for Snake to be included in Melee, and the same is actually true of Sonic. Both of those, their creators asked, hey, can you put them in Melee? We hear you're working on Melee. But the problem is, by that point, they were too far into development, and they couldn't actually do it anymore. But when they started work on Brawl, one of the first things they did was call up Kojima and be like, hey, is that offer still on the table? And he was like, yes.
Oh god, I still remember when they revealed Sonic for Smash, and it was you had the Mario and Sonic Olympic Games, but they actually had something like Mario and Sonic in a video game, not something for a sports title, actually battling each other. People went nuts.
I still love the reveal trailer they did for Snake, because they did it in the style of one of his nanomachine talks with the Colonel. So it's just Snake, we've identified your next opponent.
That Smash Brothers thing. Yeah.
And then just hearing David Hayter's voice be like, wait a minute, that's Mario.
The best reveal for Smash Bros. I'm sorry, it's got to be Mega Man when they announced it for 3DS and Wii U.
Mega Man was really good, yeah.
Yeah, like the actual design, like to look like that for something like from the original NES, not like the sort of the taller anime style now, but that was just I freaked out by that. I gotta be honest.
Mm-hmm. Good times. And like, you know, I still enjoy me some Smash today. You know, Ultimate is a pretty good game, hot take. But there is something about this era, and by something I mean nostalgia. It's mostly nostalgia, if we're honest. But it also did feel a little tighter. Like, I don't think it's controversial to say that Smash Bros. Is a little bit bloated these days, and I'm not just talking about the 17 Fire Emblem characters. It's just, you know, like, it's in trying to give everybody everything they ever wanted. It is not as tight a package as it used to be, and it is nice seeing here, like, you know, one of the tightest versions they ever did. In conclusion, it's great. It's beloved for a reason. We still play it for a reason. There's a reason we let people still play Smash now with GameCube controllers. I just wish I could see it better.
Well, hopefully they end up releasing it on the Switch 2 GameCube NSO app.
It is insane to me that they have, not re-released it at any point on any of the Nintendo eShops.
Like, not even like the Nintendo 64 version. Like, I'm just hoping what they're going to do for the next Smash Brothers game, they're going to do that, and then they go, oh, we're going to also re-release these classic ones to tide you over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, either on the NSO or just put it up on the eShop. I promise you, people will buy Melee if you let them buy Melee.
Yep. I mean, you've done it for any other franchises like Paper Mario, Mario Galaxy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you do like, doesn't have to be the GameCube version. You do like a remaster, somewhat of a remaster, a cleanup of the GameCube version. Yeah, people lap it up.
Mm-hmm. Also, insert mandatory include Luigi, you cowards here. Oh, sorry, Waluigi.
Yes.
One day.
One day. Hopefully the next one. All right. Well, going from one Sakurai project to the latest Sakurai project, I, and like quite a few other people, have been playing some Kirby Air Riders. This was released, I want to say, about a week ago. Not that long ago, like over a week, but it's a it was released for the Switch 2, and I was a bit hit or miss with its sort of like test bar initial one. It explained everything, and it gave you all like sort of the basic training modes. Excuse me, and I had a few tracks. And it had the city plaza mechanic, but it didn't really explain to me how the other characters or the actual vehicles work. Like, this is a racing game, somewhat akin to something like Mario Kart, but it is very much not Mario Kart. Whereas Mario Kart has sort of I wouldn't say basic formula, but sort of a standard formula that can sort of wrap your head around easily. For most people. Kirby Air Riders, completely, like, all the vehicles act completely different. I'm gonna be comparing it to Mario Kart. I'll compare it like the Mario Kart world. Like, the standard Mario Kart, you have got mostly three laps to go on a track. Kirby doesn't even adhere to that with all of its tracks. Some of them have 3, some of them have 2, some of them just have 1 big lap that you go around. And and with Kirby Air Riders, you are always going, but it is a 2-button. Well, it's sort of somewhat of a 2-button control scheme. It actually technically is 3 buttons. I'll get into that. So you've got you got the B button, which allows you to sort of somewhat slow down your vehicle and do sharper turns. So if you get like a sharp turn, you can sort of turn around in that. You also get if you hold it down far enough, you can charge a meter and go for a slight boost. You've also got a Y button, which sort of allows you to attack other and somewhat, I believe, attack. Oh, that's right. You can actually use that to sort of spit out enemies that because with the Kirby, you actually are inhaling enemies, and you can, if you don't like the ability that you get with a certain enemy, you spit that out. And this game encourages you to, it's basically like attack enemies because they give you a speed boost. And you can also attack your other like you got enemies, your standard enemies on the ground, but you also got your other players, and you can attack other players to get yourself a speed boost. I think Hill described it while I was streaming, is that it's not a game that you don't get slowed down by other enemies other players attacking you. They just get a speed boost from you.
I really like that because it makes being attacked feel a lot less bad.
Yeah, it's sort of like you get attacked, but it's just you got to make sure you're on the attack. And the way you attack them is you got to do a spin attack, and you do a spin attack by pressing left and right on the thumbstick to spin. So that's the other 3rd button. But it is sometimes it's a bit hard to get your head around because you'll get vehicles act very differently. You'll get ones where it is very much you get a slower speed, but you get a very sharp turn. My favorite one is sort of a vampire sort of vehicle where it'll actually automatically attack an enemy when you get close to it, so you don't actually have have to press the B button to attack them. Mm-hmm. You'll get ones where no matter what you do, the direction you cannot control the initial direction with the left and right unless you're actually holding the B button to turn. Right. But that's actually a really good turn. It's really weird to get your head around. It sort of does. The game does tell you got to experiment, and that's something that I don't think they explained themselves with the test file, but I immediately got when I actually playing this, because it actually had an additional setting that explained every vehicle has a different play style. And then you've got certain characters, like you start initially obviously with Kirby, like King Dedede, Meta Knight. Oh goodness, I'm not expensive with the other Kirby characters. Waddle Dee, I know, is one of them. But it's so fun. Like you were saying in regards to Smash Bros. Melee, where you were getting notified. You unlocked Roy in the year 2047. You had that constant notification. With this game, you are constantly getting notifications because you'll do standard things that you'll unlock certain characters. It's like a puzzle piece. Mm-hmm. It's something kind of like the 3DS, like they had those puzzle pieces when you're doing like the 3DS Street Pass game. So it's sort of like that. But you just go you'll see you like 4 puzzles, and then you complete one race. It's like you get bam 10 things you've done, because not only did you complete the race, in a certain amount of time. You use a certain ability in a number of times. You attack someone another amount of times. It's all these crazy conditions. Mm-hmm. But it's really a feedback loop to say, oh, you've done this, you've done this, and this is a Sakurai game, so it's a whoosh, whooshing sound thumping towards you. So it's constantly getting at you. Mm-hmm. So it's like you would think it'd be annoying, but you know what it is. It's just like it's a little nice treat for you.
All right. I have one very important question.
Yes,
we've compared it briefly to Mario Kart, but how does it compare to Sonic All-Stars Racing?
Oh yes, because I did play that. See, thing is,
God's perfect kart racing game.
Oh my god. No, I mean, like I honestly, look, I love Mario Kart, and I liked what I played with I liked what I played with Sonic Racing. I did compare those two favorably together. Kirby Air Riders is the more interesting game.
Gotcha.
Like it is very much Mario Kart. It's easy to pick up and go. There is a skill you have to go to be able to successfully like be really good at Kirby Air Riders.
Mm-hmm.
It's that classic Kirby film. It's easy enough to pick up and sort of play basically, but to be able to master it, you have to hone in your skills, and I love that about it. I'm not good at it, but I just love that you can get that aggressively good at it. But yeah, comparing it to like Sonic Riders, it's like I mean, that game is very flash as all heck. I would say Kirby's pretty much as flashy as that. It's like you've got some crazy level designs. You've got flashing lights. Like you've got your basic hill, like classic fairy hills. You got your ice stage. You got a water stage with a thumping soundtrack. Oh my goodness, the
Kirby
the water,
soundtracks are always amazing.
Oh, they're so good. But you also got like industrial sites. You've got like cyber sites. It's wild the amount of tracks. And it's a shame. It's a shame I don't have a good HDR TV because I imagine if I did, I'd be playing through that. It'd be just like blinding me. Just the visual style. So you got your basic racing. You've also got sort of like a tabletop racing mode where it's top down. I haven't gotten too much into that. But it sort of plays the same. You've also got the classic sort of city track where what it is, you play it online, you get into about 16 other players, you have 5 minutes to it's just a muck around. You go around, you collect every sort of item you can get. You'll get items that are that initially just increase your speed, your health, your defense, your weight. And you got crazy scenarios with these cities. Like you'll get one that's like, oh, a big enemy has just come down. Everyone go and attack it. And if you attack it, you'll get all these goodies. So there'll be like a little mini race. You have to get to a certain section, like in the next 30 seconds. And then whoever gets in just has a little mini race. And then whoever wins gets a whole lot of items. And then they're back into the city. It's crazy. And then once the 5 minutes is up, then you actually select what's like some 4 challenges. Like there'll be one where you have to all of you get together and you have to fight a robotic King DDD. There'll be one that's like a gourmet race where you race around a track collecting all the food. There'll be one where who can jump the highest, or who can glide the farthest, or who can drop down the fastest and get the most points. It's really good. Initially, because it was I believe it was a Kirby Air Ride was the one that was originally on the GameCube. So that would have been 4 people. Get around the GameCube. You do the city trial, and that would have been really fun. Now, obviously, online, you can get up to 16 people. So it's just something. It's not like a set thing. It's one of those things. It's it's 5 minutes, so it's not. It's long enough that it's oh, okay, this is something substantial, but it doesn't overstay its welcome. It is something still something you just get a couple around friends together. It's let's do a couple of city runs, and you feel really good about it. It's just really fun to play. And then they've got what's called a not a free roam, but it's sort of like it's a single player mode. And the way this works is that you are driving around you're Kirby, and you're on a automatic track, and you got certain checkpoints, and each of these checkpoints you have 3 choices. It'll be okay, you can do a gourmet race, or you can do a tabletop race. Once you complete that, then you get you upgrade your current car at that moment. That's where you do your boss battles. This is as I said, this is a single player campaign. That's really fun. I think about the stage 8 with that. So I haven't completed it yet, but I'm having really fun with that. And that's also where it's got its storyline, which can get really like it's not super dark, but just the imagery is like, wow, this is actually this is a Kirby game. Like obviously, other Kirby games, they do have that sort of mechanical, sort of a dark atmosphere.
That's kind of a theme in a way, because like in Super Smash Bros. Was it Brawl? Yeah, it was Brawl. Like Kirby is literally the last surviving thing in the entire universe. Like,
yeah,
for some reason, Sakurai just really likes this. Like, he's like the Don Bluth of video games. Like, he can make it as dark as he wants, as long as it's happy by the end.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm loving that. And also you've actually got a store. You can actually accumulate like coins, and you can use that for purchase things. It's really funny. You can purchase like hats. You can purchase like decals for your vehicle. I've got a cowboy hat, so I'm always riding around Kirby with a cowboy hat. Woo. Very cool. You can actually make your own sort of skin for your vehicle. People have been posting those online. There's been some that have been taken down by Nintendo because they've been a bit too risque.
Bit saucy.
Yeah. I didn't actually, the one I made, it wasn't risque as all. I just made Peter Griffin's face. I don't know why.
Go off,
I saw
King.
other people doing... Yeah. I just saw it and thinking, I can make some circles. I can make some lines. Let's see how I go. But no, the online's been really good. I haven't had any bad connections with it, because you don't always know with Nintendo games.
They're still a little, their online features can still be a little wonky. Yeah.
I'm so they like maybe like all the online features, like it's not as robust as like other games. The connection wise, like actually racing around other people seems pretty stable. But I know like something like Smash Brothers, like unless you're like across the street or something, you are going to have some lag.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, don't even try doing any of the NSO Nintendo Switch Online classic games. If you're playing like Hilda and I tried to do with something, I think it was like it was Mario Strikers on GameCube, and it's just like stuttery as all hell, and no like the audio was lagging. That's how bad it was.
I could think of one that's like an absolute banger, because it's turn-based and you don't need to worry about it. Kirby's Dream Course. It's a Kirby golf game. It's genuinely a lot of fun.
Oh, see, that's the thing. That would be a perfect way to play it online, because you don't really need that. The problem is it still has to sync up the systems, and so it's still going to get lag, which sucks.
That's a shame. But you do get to
do
the literal golf clap in a literal golf game.
You do. That is awesome. But no, in saying that, in conclusion, Kirby Air Riders, I was a bit hit and miss. I initially got it just because we can do streams online, but I'm glad I got it. Yeah, it's fun. If you got a Switch 2, I'd say highly recommend. Give it a go. All right. Now, for something completely different, you've been playing a little game called Constance. How's that gone for you?
It's gone very well, thank you. This is a little game that came out about a week ago, so very close to Kirby Air Riders, actually. Yeah, at time of recording, it came out 6 days ago. It is a Metroidvania, little indie Metroidvania brought to you by the fine people over at BTF Games. That's, oh god, I'm going to have to pronounce German now, aren't I? Bildentonfabrik Games. But yeah, it is a 2D indie Metroidvania that is sumptuously animated, I would describe it. Like, when I first saw this, I was like, wait, did Thunder Lotus make a new game and I didn't hear about it? It is gorgeous to look at, and it's also a lot of fun to actually play. And because it's an indie game in 2025, it's also a metaphor for mental illness. But that's fine. I'm here for it.
Yep.
I really like me a good Metroidvania. I can get burnt out on a genre every now and then, but I always come back for more, and some of my favorite games of all time have been Metroidvanias. Hollow Knight, Hollow Knight Silksong, Rusted Moss, Blasphemous. The second one was a benefit of hindsight, kind of a mixed bag, but the first Blasphemous is really good. Constance, I'm still working my way through it. I was hoping to finish it before we actually recorded today, but then a lot of stuff came up towards the end. I'm close though. I'm pretty sure I can. I'm gonna do the final boss later today, but it's been a lot of fun. And it's been gorgeous, and the theming about mental illness is really potent and really strong. As a actual Metroidvania, I would say it isn't the best I've played, because Metroidvanias, there's always sort of two components to it. There is the platforming, and then there is the combat. The platforming, I would say, is very solid. Basically, no notes on that. That's everything I want out of Metroidvania. The combat isn't bad. It just feels a little underwhelming. Like, a little basic, maybe, compared to some of the other examples I just gave. Like, it's fine. But it kind of says something that my favorite boss fights to date have actually been, like, more a platforming challenge almost than they were a combat challenge in their own way.
Yep.
Yeah, in the actual, like, traversal of the game proper, this isn't much of an issue. Like, there's enemies, they get in your way, you can stop to fight them, but a thing I very much appreciate is one of your first abilities you get is a dash that makes you temporarily invulnerable, which lets you navigate the environment, but it also just means, hey, if you don't want to fight this enemy, just dash through him. You can just keep walking right now. There's no reason like that you have to stop. Like, there's rewards for it. You get like money that you can use to buy things, etc., etc. But this is a game where, like, if you find the combat a little underwhelming and you don't want it to hold you back in terms of the pacing, you don't need to. It doesn't need to. You can just decide, I would prefer not to. I should probably briefly get into the mental health part of it. This whole game is kind of a framing device in a way. Like, there's two layers. There is the game world that you navigate, where you are a girl literally made of paint, and you wield a paintbrush as your weapon, and it's very beautiful and inventive and creative. And that's clearly sort of the escape of the real girl who is going through a lot TM. What I really do appreciate, however, is the sections where you briefly pop back into the real world as the real girl going through a lot. Those are actually interactive, and interactive in a way that really enforces the things she's going through very well, but in a way that isn't gamey. Because, like, how do I put this? Like, that thing where a horror game is a little too hard and you die too often, and then it isn't scary anymore, it's just frustrating?
Yeah.
They clearly went out of their way to make sure that does not happen here. So there is no fail state when you are in the real world. It's
okay.
Yeah, you just get to experience the things she's going through, which is great, because, and I really want to give them congratulations on it, because boy, do they make it feel like there is a fail state. There's no pressure, but it really feels like it. Like, one of the sections is when she is at work, and they do such a good job of conveying how it feels to be at work and to have 4 different people asking you to please, like, her name is Constance, or Connie for short, to have 4 different people go, like, Connie, where's that email I asked you about it 3 times. Connie, please, why isn't the email here yet? Connie, the investors are here. Connie, please. Connie. And
Ah.
it was... It gave a great impression of how stressful that was, but because there isn't an actual fail state, there is no like, oh, try again. See, also, there's a bit where there's like a section where she has to play music, and the way they do that is just completely out of nowhere, it becomes a rhythm game for 2 minutes, and you're probably not gonna do very well at it because your brain has not been in rhythm game mode, it's been in Metroidvania mode. So it's gonna sound pretty bad. But there isn't a fail state, so you don't need to worry about having to try again. You just get to feel that pressure of being up on stage and, oh god, this isn't going very well and people are judging me. Oh no! So... social interaction, no. But
this is speaking to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's clearly carefully thought through to feel like there is pressure, to feel like things can go wrong and are going wrong, but there isn't a video gamey, oops, your points dropped below 0, please try again. And I really appreciate that. That is a good and lovely touch.
Yeah.
I will also say, going back to the Metroidvania side of things, this is one for the sickos. Congratulations, we have one for the sickos, because you can get through the overwhelming majority of this game at a very reasonable difficulty level. If you want an unreasonable difficulty level, boy howdy did they include optional challenges. Boy, did they include some optional challenges, let me tell you.
Ooh.
Like, I've detected a pattern where anytime a Metroidvania makes the double jump optional, that's a sign that it's like, if they hide the double jump from you and you can technically beat the main game without it, that's a good sign that the optional content is really gonna take the gloves off, and boy are they.
Yeah.
And honestly, the platforming content is probably my favorite part of it. They really do a lot of very wonderful playing around with the paint as a recurring theme, and use that a lot in Constance's powers. And they get pretty fun and creative with it. The first time, like a good example is, you get sort of a wall climbing mechanic where she turns into a blob of paint that can sort of scoot up the wall, and then you can wall jump out of it.
Yep.
The first time I realized that you can turn to paint and stick to the wall, and then just not jump, and just let gravity take over, and then just slide down the wall while you are invulnerable, so you pass through spikes harmlessly. That was a great feeling of discovery. That was a great feeling of, oh yeah, I'm like, we're going places now. Like, the very start of the game is a little bit linear and handholdy, but it very quickly opens up once you get your first, like, 1 or 2 powers. So, as a world, I really like it. I will say, the actual map that you get given, not my favorite map. It's the kind of Metroidvania map that shows you all the rooms, but it doesn't show you where you are in the room. Which, like, I will accept that if you're, say, something like Blasphemous 1, where the world map is approximately the size of Nebraska, and you need to take multiple screenshots and composite them together in order to fit the entire map into a single picture, because the game can't zoom out far enough to show you the entire map. Like, okay, when it's that big, I grant you. This map is not that big. This map is quite a bit more reasonable. They could have just shown where you are on the map, I feel. And it does make navigating a little bit more fiddly than it really needs to be. There's also one region that I'm a little bit torn on, because there's one zone that is almost entirely platforming. There's basically no combat other than bosses. But it, like, that I'm fine with, but for some reason, that is also the zone. It's also the only zone where bosses are repeated. There's like, you do the boss fight, and then you have a long section of platforming, and then you have the redux, harder version of that same boss fight.
Mm-hmm.
Either of those things in isolation would be totally fine. That would just be like a valid artistic choice. Doing them both in the same region does kind of give me the impression that, like, is this the zone that sort of got shafted in development? Was this the one where we had more ideas and we kind of had to streamline it in order to make our release date?
Yep.
Luckily, it's not like a huge part of the game or anything. So, and if it was something they had to cut down for the release date, then I don't blame them. I think they did a perfectly fine, elegant job of it. But it just sort of stood out to me as a little bit strange. All in all, is this like my favorite game released this year? No. And I'm not just saying that because Silk Song came out this year. I would say this is a very good game. I wouldn't call it mind-boggling, but I was craving a Metroidvania, and I got a genuinely thoughtful and insightful one, because not all of them actually bother with something like the subtext about the mental health. Like, I adore Blasphemous for a wide variety of reasons. I would not say that the subtext of it goes very deep, other than, wow, the person who made this sure has a lot of Catholic guilt.
Yeah.
This one does actually feel like it's touching on much more real human emotion that I can really relate to, and I appreciate that. But at some point, the Metroidvania has to be a Metroidvania, and that part of it is solid but not incredible. So I would suggest picking it up right now. I know the Steam, at time of recording, the Steam Black Friday sale is still happening, because again, Black Friday is a continuously expanding event, and one day it will consume the entire year.
Yes.
But as of me recording this, it is still on discount. Which I don't even think is for Black Friday. I think that's just because it, is the launch weekend, and they're trying to get people to notice it. But I genuinely would recommend checking it out. I've had a great time with it, but if you are expecting something on the level of, say, Rusted Moss, which was my favorite game of 2023, I wouldn't go that far. It is a very good outing. It's not the best I've ever seen, but I also haven't beaten it yet, so maybe the ending will just absolutely redeem it. We'll find out. Watch this space, by which I mean, see if I remember to talk about it next episode.
Yeah, so that's good to hear. I'm sort of enthralled by it. It sounds interesting. I want to actually check it out. So cool. All right. Well, on that note, that's going to be it for this episode of the GamePodular Unfocused podcast. I've been your host, Scott. Thank you, Seska, for joining me.
Thank you, as always. Pleasure to be here.
Fantastic. And we'll all see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the GamePodular Unfocused podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review on iTunes. It really helps us get noticed. You can also listen and subscribe on other podcast services such as Spotify. Make sure to check our other show, Unfocused. Be sure to join our Discord server to interact with the lively GamePodular community. Follow us on Mastodon, Blue Sky, YouTube, Twitch, and GamePodular.com for updates, news, and other content. Links are in the show notes. If you would like to support our shows, You can buy us a coffee or become a GamePodular Patreon. The details for both are on our website. This episode was edited by myself, and you can follow me on Blue Sky at ScottyJman. You can also follow Hilka on Blue Sky at Gear12Turbo or on Mastodon at Gear12Turbo at kind.social. You can follow Seskra at Seskra the Spider at bsky.social, albeit at your own risk. Thanks for listening.